And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And the play clock's running down. This is the first carry for Rob Kelly. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Not enough sense of urgency there. Play clock hits 0, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I like your point there. Not enough sense of urgency. People walking up to the line of scrimmage, you've got to get up there and get set and be ready to go.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Here we go on 4th down now with Brady. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll be a 20-yard gain on the play. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Now that's the type of play where to fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
The tackle by Brian Dawkins.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
On 1st and 10, McNabb. Flush to his right. And he's got some space here. And he slides to avoid the hit. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The first carry for C.J. Prosise. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And Brate, the tight end's got it. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays. Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Again, they run. Again, it's pro size. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Columbus football as we begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. A 2nd down carry for Brosides. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll try and run down here with Brosides. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action. And
he is into the end zone for a touchdown. C.J. Brosides taking it in from 2 yards out. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 3rd down, Kelly. And not a whole lot doing there. as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here's Kelly on 4th down. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
A play fake. Now McNabb. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. And it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now it's McNabb. And that is incomplete. C.J. Prosise was the intended target. And it's 4th and 4.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a little fortunate there because that one was definitely leaking right.
Without a doubt. Maybe about the width of a football or so inside that right upright. But he got it to go.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Murray the lone setback. On 2nd down, here's Brady. Wide open receiver complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there? Yeah. Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Brady will try again on 2nd down. Left side here to Sanders. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
2nd down following the run. Brady to throw on 2nd down. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the legend, Ray Nitschke. And the return will stop right around the 25. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. To throw on second, McNabb. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
They go play action. It's McNabb finding time. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now back out comes the offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. On first down, Brady. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Now Brady throwing on second down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And now a first down following that long gain. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now this offense ready to take over again. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Right back to Procise. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Aaron Donald's secret, if there is one, to his play, his ability to contort his body in such a way that you can't get a good, clean block on it. He slides through holes and slides past blockers and makes plays just as we saw there.
So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Going deep this time for Miller. This is intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. So after the INT, it's Brady. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Flushed out right. Sanders has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And with the play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On first and 10, here's Brady. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Brady will try again on second down. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right, your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. It's a pickup of 21. And that'll set him up now, 1st and goal.
Easy.
Again, they'll throw with Brady. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And Brady will sneak it, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Tom Brady taking it in. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they have the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins and one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line, lower than the defensive front.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here now the offense heading back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Let's go. Brad 38.
Welcome back live to Orlando. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll try and sneak it here. Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the 1st.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down.
Come on, let's go.
They'll hand it off to Pro-Size. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell Suggs in there to get him for a loss of 5. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They come up in an offset eye. On third down, pro size. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
We always like to talk about defense.
Now a stoppage here. We'll get another timeout. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's Johnny Hacker now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Charles Haley in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
Left side here to Sanders. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes up.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Paul Krause. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.
All up in my face.